Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Not Your Asian Women podcast. I am Christine Chang.
I'm Shining.
Today, we're going to talk about how to meet your future baby daddy.
Spot a sugar daddy for life.
Wait, baby daddy or sugar daddy? Just a husband, life partner?
Yeah, life partner.
Whatever you're looking for. That special someone, your co-pilot in life. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, is a baby daddy a co-pilot?
Yeah, just like a good partner material, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Baby,
I meant is sugar daddy.
sugar daddy.
Is that a
it
co-pilot?
It can be. It can be because I've had girlfriends who had a good experience with sugar daddy.
Well, because the
Pleasant.
transaction, yes, the transact is if ever both partners are on the same page of like, what are we doing here? What are we getting out of this? It works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so for those who don't know us, both Shining and I are married. Our husbands are pretty similar, I would say. The marriage dynamics seem pretty similar. How long have you been married for? Or together?
Together,
I count more that
too
than
long.
It's
12 years.
12 years. Okay, Pete and I have been almost 8 years together. Yeah, so we're still learning a lot. I feel like it's forever learning, but this is my longest relationship ever. So, I mean, it's been a huge learning curve for me. And for those who don't know, I wrote a book on dating because I had a trouble with dating for many years of like, what am I doing? Is there something wrong with me? Like, what am I trying to create and how do I get there? So after years of trial and tribulation and doing personal growth on myself, I figured out for myself, like, oh, how do I feel good about myself? And how do I date so that it's fun? Isn't this supposed to be fun? It was always so heavy for me because I was trying to get a result. I was so result oriented. Like, I'm trying to meet this person. I'd want to get married instead of learning about who I was. You know, that's a big part of dating is you're not just finding a person, you're learning about you and what you want. And a lot of those things come up as you date, as you're in a relationship. I learn new shit about myself all the time with Pete. Like, oh, like I've changed here, or I didn't know how important this was to me. I mean, I don't know if we're your role models for that, but we're just going to talk about our own experience of how to meet someone and how to build a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I'm sponsored. That's a joke I stole from Jason.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
looking for
friend.
someone to sponsor him.
He's so funny. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty lucky. My husband is very supportive. He grew up in the 80s, 1900s. They don't make men like that no more.
This is true. It's different.
Yeah, like I'm not that young either. The way I see men is I don't like the whole new Gen Z gender equality shit. I'm not into it. What a man is in my book is similar to women, like just what a good person is overall. You want, love, provide help or support to your partner. All these general good qualities apply to all genders. But on top of that is this, I don't know, like a genetic trait of want to provide, want to take care of your woman, want to make her safe. Because my husband has that mentality, like, I'm happy. So when he comes home from long day of fucking work and then see my ass sitting on the couch and do nothing and just like watch YouTube and giggle my ass off, he feels happy. He looks at me and go, this makes me happy, makes me feel like a man that I can provide my woman, do whatever she wants to make her happy. And then if what makes her happy now is doing nothing, watching YouTube, then I'm happy that she's happy. And then if she wants sunbathe, take a bubble bath all day, I'm happy I can provide that. If she wants to go on a trip with her girlfriends using my money, I'm happy for that. I'm happy that I can provide that. That makes me feel like a man. I don't know about these Gen Z boys.
Yeah, I'm curious actually too, because they say dating, between the Gen Zers is easy because they're all on the same page. What's difficult is when there's one partner's younger and one's more older, because it's different. The values are a little bit different. But I wonder with Gen Zers, like the polarity, right? Because if everything's so equal, right? Well, it's great in that you can define what a relationship means to you, right? Break out of your roles. But I do wonder about, I feel like there's some biological intrinsic things of men being a certain way, like think about hunter-gatherer days, wanting to like protect. I also like that too. Protect and provide. I do like that.
Yeah. Mind you, like I do show up for him. I think if I'm some sort of complaining, bitter bitch and always pointing fingers at him, he won't be happy providing for me.
Right.
You know what it's a give and take. So I know what he wants, right? He wants me to suck his dick. He's a simple man.
Men are very simple.
He wants me to, be just emotionally there for him when time is rough, and he knows I'm ride or die. And how like the tech company has been laying off a lot of people. He was kind of a little concerned, and then I just said, don't worry about it. I know you. Even if this company let you go, you have skills. You can pick up another shit, and we can do something. We can downgrade. Don't worry about it. Like, like it's just a fucking job. It's not like we have to worry about where to live, stuff like that. And then when it comes down to that, I will go and make money. And then I think that kind of eases his anxiety of, oh shit, like seeing like thousands of people being laid off in the Bay Area, I guess what I'm trying to say is, as a woman, if you're, kind of view the marriage or partnership as more traditional, like you want to be more feminine or staying at home, do like a housewife shit, your husband goes out, make more money, then you have to fulfill that role too, and be, like just feminine love, like the calmness, and then make him feel welcome to come home. And then, because I've heard men say that it's chaotic at home, and they would just sit in the driveway in the car.
They don't want to go in.
They don't want to go in. They don't want to go home.
It's sad.
And it's always like you can't pointing fingers. You can't be like, oh, you don't do shit, this and that. Then it's toxic. You can't maintain that relationship. It's a partnership, right? You can't rely on one person to do this everything. And then if he provides, then make home life as chill, easy as possible. This is something I really appreciate, Brad. You know how like some men would feel weird about women giving them career advice because they don't. Yeah, because like, what the fuck is this bitch? Yeah, they're like, what this bitch is doing? Like, what the fuck have you achieved? Are you a manager? Like, do you know this? And they get a little offended. But he values my opinion, even though I don't understand the shit he makes or physics, mechanics of things, engineering shit. I know nothing about nerdy shit. I do know is how to build, like a friendship, or, how to work with people, or like a just different perspective. I don't know what I can help, but I will share with my opinion with him, and then he values that.
Trusts you and respects you.
Yeah, he respects.
And thinks you're smart.
Yeah, he will open up about some work stress and this and that. I don't ever make him feel bad, feeling certain way, or tell him what to do. I kind of share stories like, oh, this is a past experience I've had, may be helpful, or this is the same type of struggles I experience, and this is how I deal with it. Maybe you can try that. I don't know if it will help you. So something like that. And then he always values. So that's good. Yeah. So for, I don't know, what are we talking about?
I guess we're giving a little backstory so you guys can learn about our marriage dynamics. I get really sad seeing people in miserable marriages. I think growing up watching my parents, to be honest, I mean, everyone's just doing the best that they can, you know, and what they know how. My parents were raised different generation, different countries, different cultural values. So when I was younger, I would blame them for a long time. Like, you guys aren't good at this. Like, you didn't teach me anything about emotional intelligence. Like, it's like, I don't know everything. You know, everyone's just doing the best that they can. But I will say my mom wasn't the best example of being respectful towards her partner. And so that's something, I think that's why I value respect so much. That should be the baseline. If you guys don't have mutual respect, fucking forget it, dude. If you don't, if you don't respect me, like, bye. But I also need to respect my partner. Like, do I respect you? And I've caught myself, you know, being disrespectful to Pete before. And I'm like, this is not okay, you know, like, and I'll apologize. He's so forgiving. He's really good that he doesn't take many things personal. Like, oh, she's just having an off day. Yeah, but that mutual respect is really important to me. Pete's similar to Brad, and he likes to be the provider. He finds purpose in work. And so for him, he can be really hard on himself of like, I need to do this. And I'm just like, honestly, no pressure from me, you know, like, I want to see you happy and thriving. So whatever that looks like, I'll be happy. You know, if you want to go consult and leave your full-time job, then if that makes you happy, do it. I'm not going to pressure you or tell you how to live your life, you know? And that's what I want to return to him too, is the happy me. And you know who's responsible for that is me. You know, so I'm just like, what lights me up? And honestly, if I'm happy, the marriage is great. If we're doing good, the marriage is great. It's usually when one of us, if there's like added stress or, you know, something like that, then it starts to creep into like, how do we navigate this? But if we're doing good, everything's great. So that's usually what what we aim for. Is like, I'll take care of me for you and you take care of you for me. Of course, we support each other in certain ways, you know, but the foundation is that. And some of the qualities I looked for, you know, and I think in order to choose a partner that's good for you, you have to know yourself pretty well. And this just came from like getting older and dating more. Like, I used to think that I wanted a super alpha, owned his own business, like had a yacht kind of guy. I thought I wanted that, and I realized that I don't. At least not.
You don't?
I can have friends like that. So, like, I actually, like, I look for friends like that, right? But my partner, because I can be very particular. I have a strong personality. I am alpha, you know, and it butts heads, and emotionally I'm very sensitive. And so one of the things that was most important to me was having a patient partner. And a lot of the guys who are go, they're not patient. And, you know, I'm thinking, this is the person that I'm waking up next to every day. Is it going to be like my mom, like, yelling at me to tell me, like, get out of bed, what are you doing, are you lazy? Like, do I want that? I'm like, I actually don't want that. It's a balance. You know, sometimes people can encourage you and ask you, you know, in certain ways to encourage you, but I'm like, I don't want that intense person. I don't want that intense guy. A lot of them are very intense. Pete's very patient and kind. Like, his heart is just like, he has good intentions, you know? I think kindness is a very undervalued quality, but that character of kindness, like, he doesn't want, he doesn't need validation in a way. Like, he does good things, but he'll never say like, oh, this is what I did. I see him, like, we'll be in India, you know, and he's like, I'm like, where's Pete? And he's interacting with some of the kids, and he brings his Polaroid camera, and he always, he likes to take pictures for them, and he gives them the Polaroid, you know, and he never says that, you know. I'm just like, that is a kind heart. He's just giving, not to get attention or what it was, a virtue signal or whatever. Look at how great I am. He's just good because he's good.
Yeah.
I really like that. And out of both of us, honestly, like, he does lead in certain ways in that he is the main provider. Even though I don't need the money, he wants to. The bank account is like he wants to be putting into it and providing. But in a lot of other ways, I would say that I am the decision maker, but I kind of like it like that. That if I'm being honest, like I can be particular, and so for that, I think it's fair that, for example, like if I'm planning a party, I'll plan my own party because I just know it's unfair of me to have. I'm a dreamer, okay? I have these big visions and put these expectations on someone else and then kind of be disappointed. I'm like, and he lets me. He's just like, you know what? We agree. You're better at this. Why don't you do it? Same with booking plane tickets. I realized, you know what? He'll do it, but I'm like, I think I'm better at it. I'm like, why don't I just do it? And I read somewhere actually that beta men make better husbands. In general, if you're looking for like emotional,
Stable.
In general, they make better husbands. But of course, everyone's different, you know. Like I know actually some alpha women who they're alpha in every aspect of their life. So they're like, I do not want to be alpha in my marriage. This is the one point in my life where I could just like let go. So they chose an alpha guy, but they do admit like, I'm choosing this. It's gonna come with us butting heads sometimes, you know, and everything that you choose, there's always the other side of the coin, right? So for me personally, I got really clear on like, what do I want? And if I ever creep into the like, oh, well, he doesn't do this or that, I'm like, but would I rather have it the other way? And the answer is no, right? So I got really clear on that. So I think I chose better, knowing that about myself versus blindly. I think for me, if I ended up marrying someone that I dated in my 20s, I don't think it would have been a good match because I would have chose probably more based on physical attraction, things that are fleeting and you know are secondary. So if anyone's out there and they feel like I haven't met my person yet, whatever, I'm like, this is a good thing because this is time that you are learning about yourself. Yeah. I think it's good. I think dating when you're older, for me, it's more fun when, at least for me, when I was a little more clear and intentional, like, oh, what am I doing? Is this a night out for fun? Am I looking for someone to be like forever? And it was easier as I got more clear.
Yeah, I think like how to find a good husband material, you touched on that. You need to know what you want. First off, if you don't, date more. Yes. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's how you learn about yourself because they're a mirror back to you. Yes, you can read books. You can there's seasons for isolation, but if you really want to learn about yourself, go date.
Exactly. So, it's like you can't know how to swim by reading instructions. You got to just throw yourself in the water. You might choke a little bit, drown yourself.
Make mistakes.
But that's how you learn how to swim. That's, I don't know if this analogy resonates, but date more, date all kinds of, don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Date all kinds of people and be genuine and authentic of what you want. So in comedy, right, my style is dark, insulting. But if I believe what I'm saying, the audience will laugh with me. If I act like, oh shit, am I gonna, say something to, offend these people? Because I have like, fat fuck jokes. And if I worried about, because I'm like most people here are fat in America. I mean, if I worry about that, then I limit my art. And then they sense it, and then they can feed off that energy. It's like, oh, she doesn't even believe what she's saying. So I guess my point is, if your intention is to find a sponsor, then don't waste your fucking time with broke dicks. And then know that there's a risk to wanting to find a man who has a lot of money already. Then you're not their priority. You just you just sound pussy to them. And if you're attractive and you can get yourself sponsored, don't be stupid using that money to buy some stupid purse and shit. Save that money to invest in yourself. It's a transaction, right? Just get what's your intention doing that? What's your goal? Like, you can't make a fucking sugar daddy fall in love with you, want to marry you, that's a little retarded. and then so that's that. And then if you want a real life partner, like you don't care what he does and how much money he makes, you're even okay with he makes a little less than you just want a good person, then find that. Forget about how fucking tall he is, how much
Exactly.
six packs he has or some shit, because these shallow, really, it doesn't. Yeah.
And
so-
if you're looking for long term, that shit's gonna go too eventually.
yeah. You have to.
So many women are particular about that. They're like, he's losing his hair. And I'm like, you're looking for someone long term. You know, what do you think's gonna happen? Your face is gonna change.
Yeah.
His face is gonna change.
Exactly. And how do you feel if you gain little, some shit down here? I'm just holding my robe. Like, and then he says some, oh shit, like, honey, you gained some weight. How does that make you feel, Anyways, so if you want a life partner, a good partner material, then list out the shit your shortcomings, right? Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. Find something that you're not good at, and then see these qualities, and say if you're not a very patient person, you would like to be more patient, find someone who has that quality. Something that, because you're a partner, right? You want as a team, both of you to be better. Then look for that qualities that you don't have. You want your partner to have, so you can balance each other out. Find that, and then take a real good look at yourself. What are your strengths? What can you bring to the table? These days, there are men who relationship dynamic. Men make less money, and they're more of like a housewife role, which is fine. That's your life, Then what can you bring to the table? Do you make her feel, like I lost the train of thought. Anyways, so like what do you value, and then look for that. More strategic about it, because I'm pretty lucky. I've dated some, weird ass dudes, but I don't like regret any of it. It's like it's a part of learning yourself, and then and I hope all of the men I've dated, even if they wronged me, I hope they're doing well. I hope they find someone they love and doing something they love. I hope them nothing like but good. Because they taught me so much about me. As you get older, you will figure out what's more important to you and what you want to do, and then align that with your partner and find that. And if you meet someone you think is like match you, but they don't feel the same for you, then like wish them good, and then move on. I've heard other podcasts talk about the nice guy shit. I don't really agree with that. Like a nice dudes finish last. I don't believe that bullshit. You're looking into the wrong partner, I guess. If you're a nice, sensitive dude, you like to cry a little bit, and you need more love, then be that. I'm sure there are women out there that love that like to nurture partners like that. And just because few dates you went on and women didn't like that, it don't mean there's something wrong with you. You're just being you. Maybe it's these days, I guess, perhaps it's harder for, I wouldn't say like weak man. It's not like a mainstream portrait of what man is. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Just be you. Be open. Just don't be fake. You can be honest with what you want. You really just want like a 10 out of 10 models, then go to that caliber of level.
Where
then
you can get
where
them.
you can get that. Young man, if you want a good girl partner, then look for that. You know, she might be a little boring. I'm
Actually,
just saying shit.
no, but that actually is a thing. You know,
Yeah.
with some guys, you have a lot of guy friends, right?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
do any of them say that complain sometimes that the partner that they end up with is a little boring?
Yes, yeah, straight man is like this whole like, yeah. I talked to my husband about it, and then he said, you know, every man is just out there gambling. We're trying to figure out how much crazy we can manage.
Yeah.
While trying to pull the hottest tail we can.
No, it's true because I hear it because I get it because for a long-term relationship, you look for stability, right? Which comes sometimes with, it's reliable, so it's predictable, right? And also what's compatible with them, especially if the guy is a more extroverted, like go-getter. What tends to be compatible for them at home is someone who's not exactly like them, right? Otherwise, they'd be fucking butting heads all the time. But I do have some guy friends who, I mean, they love their wives, but I know there's a part of them that
Want that
like
fire.
like the wishes, yeah, either she was a little more passionate or edgy about something.
Or a freak.
Well, it's the balance of safety and novelty, right? And I think, I mean, from my point of view too, there are like marriage for me. There have been times where I'm like, oh, this feels kind of boring, but this is what I want. I want stability. I don't want someone unstable, okay, in my home, you know? So it's just like, oh, what do we have to do now to create more novelty? I'm like, babe, is it time? Like, let's go out, let's go try a new restaurant, or do something. But I think that comes with, everything's a trade-off, right? If you have a bunch of short-term flings, like you're gonna get stimulation a certain way, but you won't have the intimacy that you would have in a different
There's
way.
no perfect.
There is nothing perfect. So I think also accepting that of like, what are you looking for? But like, can you have that? You can't have everything, you know, all the good emotions all at once, all the time, forever. It's not going to happen, right? So prioritize what's most important to you. And that also comes from dating, because I learned what's most important to me is that I feel good emotionally in a relationship. And this is based on dating men who did not bring the best out of me emotionally, or they made me feel abandoned or not important. And so I'm like, okay, this is missing here. So this is what I'm prioritizing. So I'm going to stop choosing the guy who has the yacht and is an entrepreneur and like does all these sports and stuff. I'll put that on, you know, to the side. What's important first? The characteristics, their character, patient, how I feel emotionally, you know, like how do I feel when I'm with him was the priority. So I looked at that first, because if that didn't work, this dating's not going to go any further. If you don't have integrity, it's not going any further. But if I get to know you and that's in place, okay, let me see what else is here for me to explore. Because I think a lot of people, they get lost in that. They're just looking for the wrong thing. They get caught up with like charm.
Yeah, emotions, feelings. Most of the time, you can't trust these fuckers.
No, or like the butterflies, that's anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a predictor of whether this person is a good long-term partner for you.
To men, when you think of straight men, I guess, when you think of a girl, like your date gets hard and you just, you know, want to, you know, fuck her or some shit, you can't trust that feeling. That's not healthy. That's toxic.
It is toxic.
Yeah. And then she's, you know, she's a little bit crazy. She's a little freak. And, you know, like, you know, she plays with your balls a little bit in a different way. And you've never had sexual experience like that. And you just want to, it's like a fucking drug. You want to go back to her. And you know she fucking ruins your life, but you still do that. When you were younger, I guess, you know, it's just a part of everybody. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And but you know, if you there will be time you come to realization, oh shit, like I need to straighten up my life. And then if you're looking for a healthy partner is something you like to do, then you can't trust these feelings. You just have to manage that. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. You can't fuck anything that moves, right? Manage that. and those feelings will go away when you get older, and then you will know what a real healthy feelings is like. When you think of a person, you like your heart warms up, you feel calm, peace, and you 100% trust that person. You don't even have to talk to them like 2 hours a day, where text message like 200 text messages in all day and trying to figure out where that person is. Then that's not healthy. Real love, I guess, healthy love is boring.
It just is.
It just is. It just is.
Like you said, it's peaceful.
Peaceful.
So if you're looking for that to be whipped around, that roller coaster.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you can't trust that feelings. You can't trust that. You get addicted like it's a drug.
Yeah.
And love is not a drug. It's a good energy.
It is.
That make you want to work harder, make you want to provide for her, make you want to
be better.
Be a better man for her, so she can be just this innocent, cute, adorable being, and then she can do whatever the fuck she wants to do to make her happy, and then your life will be happier if she's happy. So that's kind of how I view what a healthy relationship and what kind of feelings would that be. Trust that feeling. How to maintain a good relationship is a different topic.
Yeah. I'm still learning it. I joke, but I'm serious. I'm like, I need more experience being married before I feel like I can spat out advice about this. The dating thing, I have a roadmap because I went through it, how to feel good dating and gain clarity of like who you are, what do you want. But it's a different skill set once you're in that relationship, which I'm learning and navigating. It's been really cool. It's been very hard too at sometimes. And I won't lie, sometimes I'm like, is this for me? Can I withstand through some of these conflicts that we have? And by the way, that's very natural that it comes up. I think to deny of like never questioning as you're changing and growing, like, is this still serving me? I feel like if more couples were actually honest with themselves and each other, I think a lot of them would actually not be together anymore.
Yeah.
To have like honest conversations. Yeah. But I think the last thing we should talk about is a lot of people ask me like where, I just want to meet more people, like meet more men, meet more women, like where do I go? And I'm thinking back, I think I was in my 30s by then. This must have been my early 30s and past clubbing, like my heavy clubbing days already, but somehow I ended up at a club with two of my girlfriends and all the guys they were with were very cute, right? And then they find a guy and they're like dancing, making out, I don't know what they're doing. And then my friend, she's like, Cece, she's like, you want a boy? And I'm like, honestly, I don't. I think I'm looking for a man. And she's like, you're very wise, Cece, but you're not going to find that here. We're just having fun, which is true. So I was just getting more clear on like, if I do want to meet what I'm looking for, what are some like logical, practical things that I can do? One of my best friends and I, April and I, when we were both single, we would go to happy hour in certain parts of town, like certain neighborhoods where we liked the tapas, we liked the cocktails, because those people have similar taste as well. We weren't into like $1 beer nights like in Silver Lake. Some people like that. We're like, no, we kind of want a guy who, if he's at happy hour, most likely has a job, so he's at happy hour, likes nice cocktails. And we would sit at communal tables and we would just go with the intention of just meeting people. Not like, oh, where's the hot guys? It's just like meet people. If you don't meet someone you go out on date with, maybe you make friends with someone who can introduce you to someone. And we've talked a lot about also just doing activities that you genuinely like to do. If you're not the outdoor person, don't like start playing outdoor volleyball and then you meet someone. Yeah, he might be really hot and fit. If you end up with him, he's going to be the outdoorsy guy while you don't want to be outside in the sun anymore. Yeah. So do the things that you actually like doing and stay consistent with it too. Because the times I'm not consistent with going to yoga or like I fall off the wagon with dance class, I'm like, oh, I used to have such a strong dance friend community, but I haven't been going. I need to be better about this.
Yeah, these days, just apps, all kinds of apps. I've heard people say it's very difficult these days. You'd match, and then you go on a couple of dates, and then they ghost you, or like it
There's a lot
doesn't
of
go
that.
anywhere.
There's a
It's
lot
a
of that.
waste of money, time. Go out more. Be open.
Be around people
Be
too.
around-
I mean, this
yeah.
is logic too. If you want to
Talk
meet
to-
people, you have to be around people.
Yeah.
You're sitting at home. Some people are like, I just want to be a homebody.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, well, if you're happy, that's cool. But if you want to meet someone and you want to make friends,
Yeah, like
you
even
have to
if
leave the house.
exactly, like first to straighten up your intention. You want to, obviously, like you're physically attracted first. That makes you want to talk to them. Yeah, but you should always like kind of your intention should be, oh, I like this person. Let me know more about her or him, and then just be, I don't know, work on yourself. Be confident
Yes.
and be okay with
Self-
rejection.
That's something I had to learn because I was so sensitive to rejection. I did it with my healing work. Like, why am I so sensitive to this rejection? Why am I taking it so personal?
Yeah.
And I'm going to plug my book. It's called Show Up, Finding Love for Independent Women. So if you find yourself in a place where you feel like you have low self-worth or you don't have much clarity regarding what you want, or you keep choosing a type of partner and the relationship ends in the same kind of way, that's who I wrote my book for. It's the younger me that I wish that I had. It would have made it a little easier, I think, when I was going through it. But yeah, I think that the self-worth and the self-love, and it takes time to build. If that's an unhealed part of you, it's not all of a sudden like, when people are just like, be confident. I hate when my dance teacher says that. Like, you guys are in your head, just be confident. I'm like, okay, I can't just turn it on. Like, I have to build this skill as I like work, as I learn all this stuff. So it takes time. For me, I think it took a good, intentionally, probably like 5-6 years to really gain that clarity and feel good. I remember the one time I got rejected where I finally it didn't trigger me anymore, where like before it would shatter my world, and I just sat on my bed and I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, I put myself out there. I told him how I felt. I'm like, you also have to step up to bat, by the way. This is showing interest in other people if you actually are interested in them, because I would also have a hard time putting myself out there and being vulnerable. Like, the person has to know you're interested, so you have to step up and bat. You can't just expect the other person to do all the work and chase you when you're not giving anything back, right?
Yeah.
It takes two people to feed a relationship. And I've had guys come on my podcast and they'll say like, yeah, like I'll pursue, but I won't chase. After a while, you just come off as disinterested. Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
You have to, if you are interested. And if you aren't, I would encourage you to also be clear about that. I'm not a fan of ghosting. I think it takes like 10 seconds to send a text like, hey, I didn't feel the same, or something.
Yeah.
And it's more for you to clear that energy and move forward. And I think you also get back what you put out. So if you get annoyed that people ghost, or you're on the apps and like all the conversations go dead, like, do you do that to people sometimes? And
Yeah.
in most cases it is like, oh, it wasn't that important. It's just like, we just talked for a little bit. I'm like, but it doesn't hurt just to send the text. Like, they'll either respond or not, take it well or not. It's for you.
This is what I find having like guy friends. Most guys that I know, they have a habit of check out in a relationship. They don't have the fucking balls to work up the courage and tell her, I don't feel the same anymore. I can't.
I don't want to hurt her.
Yeah, and then they just kind of check out, and then she had to initiate the closure talk.
That's
And-
worse, to like
yeah.
drag someone on like that. I think.
Yeah. So I think don't do that. It's a waste of your time. You wouldn't want people to do that to you. Yeah, when it comes down to it, it's like treat people the way you want to be treated. And we all have blind spots.
Yes.
And we're hold other people accountable, but we don't do that to ourselves. And we always have excuses and justifying our mistakes. We've all done that. Yeah, it takes maturity, experience, just time to kind of reflect. And before you accuse someone, just kind of sit with your emotions. Don't trust those anger or that toxic feeling of, but she's so great at sex or something like that. It just those feelings aren't real. Just kind of sit in quiet and then kind of think about what you want and how you want to communicate. And if you're afraid her reaction will be bad or something like that, it shouldn't stop you from communicating in a healthy way. The outcome is unpredictable. It's out of your control. But what you need to do is just be healthy and communicator. That's all you can do. Be authentic you, and how people will perceive or react is out of your control. Just do what makes you feel right and stick with it. That's
all you can do.
That's all
in
you
any
can
relationship is communicate how you feel. That's a skill also to be learned, though. If it wasn't modeled for you growing up, I had to learn that too. Is clear communication and how to communicate in a way that people will most likely receive it well. Because I think I could be very harsh and direct, but just like considering like their feelings, but also still being direct. Because I want that back too. I want truth. I would never want someone to stay with me if they felt bad. Fuck, dude. But some people, but this is the thing, everyone's different. Some people would rather have that. They're so scared they'd rather have someone there. The truth doesn't trump whatever they want. For me, like, truth trumps everything, including kindness. Truth is kindness to me. I might not like what you're going to say to me, but I would rather have that. I don't want to live a fucking lie. I don't want anyone to feel bad for me. I don't want anyone to waste my time, and I wouldn't want to do that to anyone else too.
Yeah. You can only stay true to yourself. And then communicate that feeling, and and then don't let that person make you feel bad about your truth. Just have a healthy argument, conversation about how you feel. If you can help work on that relationship, then if you tried and can't, then move on and wish each other the best, and that's it. It should be simple.
It's always very simple, right?
It should. It's the basic principle of things. How to be a decent human. List of things that you wish you have, and then be about that. And then during the process, you will attract a partner in the similar qualities.
Absolutely. You'll start to attract better. That's what I noticed with me after I kind of like was figuring it out. I'm like, I'm starting to choose better, attract better, date better.
Don't play games. And if you're in a bad mood, this is what I do. Because when I was younger, I did have that mentality of, he should know how I feel.
Yes. Me too.
Just sitting there and like kind of see when he's gonna, apologize or do something or guess how I feel. That will only make you upset.
It's very immature and unfair too.
Unfair. These days, when I feel like I'm on because we got periods and shit. Our hormones are all over the place. Some days I don't feel good for no reason. I just I would warn my husband. It's like, hey, I feel that cuntiness. Just don't take it personally, and then don't talk to me. I might say some shit hurt your feelings, but that's not me.
That's what Pete's good about. That he's just like, okay, I think it's that time of the month. He won't say it, but sometimes I'll catch myself, and he's like, yeah, I do notice this time of the month, and I know not to take it personal. I'm like, shit. I love that he's not overly sensitive. God, have you ever dated a sensitive guy? I mean, with your personality, it's tough, right?
It's tough,
oh
yeah.
man, I'm like, I can't. I felt like I kept getting stopped. Like
Yeah.
you right? It just like can't flow. But also, of course, no one should be a doormat. It's just naturally, I think our husbands just aren't sensitive in that way. They understand.
Yeah,
It's not personal.
yeah. They're sensitive, but not in that way, negative way of always take everything personally, and then you have to cater, and then just walk on eggshell.
That's the
Nah,
worst.
yeah, you can't. Yeah,
That
if
is
you-
the worst type of relationship.
Yeah, like you have to be careful with your words and how you say stuff. If you're in that relationship, I just fucking end it.
Seriously.
It's not for you.
That's
Don't-
what
yeah.
I feel. It's definitely not for me because I value freedom and being able to be me. That was also at the top of my list. Do I feel like I can be authentically me? That's a good starting point because already if you don't, forget it. Don't
Yeah.
even move forward.
Yeah.
I think it's, oh yeah, it's two. Thanks, Noah. Anything? Thoughts?
Anything? Thoughts? How to?
Good luck out there.
What's the title? How to spy?
How to find your future baby daddy.
Yeah. I just be a good person.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.